Okay, let's talk about probably the most common question that I get is how to understand your dosing. So, no matter what peptide you're on, when you look at your prescription bottle, it will say inject and then it'll have a certain number of units. Okay, so for example, mine says inject 50 units. Okay, so units is going to be the number that's on your needles. You should have got a bag of needles in your supply as well. So mine says inject 50 units. That means that I am going to draw to the 50 line on the needle. Okay. It's very important that you go off of what your vial says specific to you because everybody is on different doses, strengths, potency. For example, this is my tirzepatide, okay, the weight loss shot. I'm on tier 4, so I'm on the highest dose. I take 15 milligrams a week. So 50 units of my bottle is very different than somebody who's brand new starting on tier 1 of tirzepatide. 50 units of their vial is going to be only 2.5 milligrams. Big difference, okay? So now I want to explain the actual milligram and dosing. This is very confusing why they have it like this, but once I break it down, you'll totally understand. So you have your 3 month supply of tirzepatide, okay? I want you to look at the milligram that it says on here. Okay, so I know we're all probably at different tiers, but the most common tier when people are getting on the weight loss shot is tier 1. Most people haven't already been on it, so they'll start on tier 1. So tier 1 is structured to be at 2.5 milligrams your first month. Your second month is going to be 5 milligrams, and then your third month is going to be 7.5 milligrams. However, if you look at your bottles, your month 1 will say 5 milligrams on it. Your month 2 will say 10 milligrams, and then your month 3 will say 15 milligrams. That is not the strength that you are taking if you are on tier 1. Okay. So, whatever the vial says, the milligram amount is per 100 units. That's universal for all of our LE peptides, okay? So when you look at your month 1 bottle, again, just for tier 4, if you're on a higher tier, it still applies to you, but I'm going to be speaking in terms of tier 1. When you look on your bottle and you see that it says 5 milligrams on the month 1 vial, okay? That is 5 milligrams per 100 units, but you are only doing 50 units. Okay, so you're taking half of 5, which is 2.5. So you're on the starter dose, which is also the microdose. Okay, so if you're on the microdose and you're watching this and your vial again says 5 milligrams, but that's 5 milligrams per 100 units, you're only doing half of that. You're doing 50 units, so you're taking 2.5 milligrams. Okay, let's look at your month 2 bottle. Again, if you're on tier 1, month 2 says 10 milligrams on it, but that's 10 milligrams per 100 units is the strength. So when you're taking 50 units, you're taking half of 10, so you're taking 5 milligrams each week. Same thing for month 3. It will say 15 milligrams on your bottle. However, that's per 100 units, but you're only taking 50 units, so you're taking half of 15, which is 7.5 milligrams, okay? Again, for whatever tier you're on, this applies to you. So, like for example, I'm on tier 4. My bottles say 30 milligrams on them. Okay, so I am to take 50 units of 30 milligrams. So, again, the 30 milligrams is per 100 units. So, I'm only taking 50 units, which means I'm taking half of 30, which is 15 milligrams. Okay, I know it's a little confusing, but a lot of people that are on the tier 1 think that they're on the 15 milligram dose when they get to their third month. And I'm like, no, you're actually on 7.5. So this applies to all the peptides. The most important thing I can tell you is just follow whatever your vial says. If it says 50 units, take 50 units, draw to the 50 line on the needle. Okay. And if you have any other questions about your dosing, if you have any concerns, if you feel like you want to dose up, if you want to dose back, please contact the doctor through your patient portal or you can email support and they will help you with all of that.